We're setting out into the great unknown. We don't know what we'll find, but we're ready to go. It's an Operation Arctic. An Operation Arctic. Got the word of God for us.
Hi, my name is Steve Smith. I am representing Linworth Baptist Church, and I coordinated the set design for Operation Arctic. And I know there's many ways to do this, but I just wanted to share our way. As the lead person, a couple of my responsibilities were to get the volunteers who enjoy drawing, enjoy artwork, who enjoy design. Also, I was responsible to get the materials and to keep all of those materials organized in the main room where we did our painting and drawing. Also, I was the one who set the meetings and the schedule. Also, I was the one to help cast the vision of why we are doing this, why it is important to have excellent designs. And so I kept everyone informed on the team and updated about the progress that we were making. And I was responsible to make sure everything got done according to the timetable that was set for us. And finally, as the leader, I was there to encourage all of the people that were serving in this aspect of ministry. A little bit about the process. Obviously, we talked about getting the volunteers. I would first do that. I would also get the theme and all the drama requirements from Answers in Genesis. We would then bring all the artists together, all of those who were interested in being a part of the set design, and have a brainstorming meeting. Just to come up with different ideas that maybe we can incorporate into the set. I would have somebody then draw the design or take the design that was given to us from Answers in Genesis and to kind of tweak it a little bit according to the brainstorming meeting and according to our stage and our particular needs. What I would do is I would tell the artist who was going to draw the whole set, I would have them draw the whole set on graph paper, and for the graph paper, each block represented 1 foot. I would give that artist as well a picture of the entire stage with all the measurements from looking straight on and also from an above view as well, so that they knew what they were working with. We would then, after the drawing was done, we would break out each element to its own project. So each mountain, each tree, each animal, each rock would become its own project. And then we would take each project and put the name of that project or that element on a 3x5 card. And I'll show you right now what we do to keep that all organized. So just as a sample, we have a card here that says wolf. So this obviously represented the element on the drawing as a wolf. We would put all the elements on this left side on the backlog, and then somebody would choose which element that they were going to then be in charge of, and we would move that over to in progress once they chose that. And we would make sure that they wrote their name on the 3x5 card so everybody knew who was working on that. And then once they were done, we just stick them in the done column. And so the goal obviously is to take all the ones in the backlog and move them through the process until they're done. After we were done all of the elements, we were then ready to assemble everything and build the stage. And you're now going to see some other people talk about individual design elements, the how-tos of the artwork that we did, and then also how to actually build the stage.
I'm Jon Dawson, Linworth Baptist Church. It's a pleasure for us to work on Arctic Operation this year. This is my 4th year working with the stage crew, constructing it. Well, they've asked me to kind of give you some tips of the trade. We've got when you first walk into our sanctuary, we go through a black light tunnel. The black light tunnel frame is a pretty easy PVC frame. Built at dimensions are about 7.5 foot tall, 6 foot wide. We usually use cardboard to fill in the frames, and you just paint it black and all kinds of fluorescent colors. The higher resolution of the fluorescent colors, the more they pop during the black light. Blacklight is usually just a 2x4 or a 4-foot 2 lamp fluorescent lamp where you put black lights in. The more black lights you have, the brighter and more the colors pop. The kids seem to really like it. Last year we did a lot of black walls. Let the kids have markers, highlighter markers, and they got to write their names, which was a big hit. This year we got to do Arctic operation. What you're seeing is a lot of cardboard painting. Behind the cardboard painting is where we come with our expertise. We build 1x3 wood frames. Most of them are 4x8, big 4x8 frames that we'll put braces on and tie it into the stage. And then sometimes they're too tall, and some of them we lay them down sideways. We stick them up, and then everything gets screwed to it. The lodge here, what we did there was a 6x6 wood frame with underlayment to it, so it's an actual wall system. It's a panelized wall system. We've cut the door, installed a real door into it. It's very lightweight. 2 guys can handle it easily. 1 person can pick it up and handle it real easily. And we just kind of hinged it all together. It's actually put together with regular door hinges. So every time you see a turn in the wall, it's actually hinged together, so we can just pop the hinges and pull it off, and it's very easy to store away. Each one of these trees has its own stand. It's just a 1x3 or a 2x4 stand with an angle kicker, and then we just either mount them to our stage, or you can weight them down with a sandbag and then just screw everything to them.
Hi, my name's Karin Browning, and I'm with Linworth Baptist Church, and this year's VBS was entitled Operation Arctic, and I sort of volunteered to help out with making the log cabin. And fortunately, a construction crew actually built the structure first. So there were 3 large sections and 2 smaller sections. And then we used 1-inch foam board. This is 1-inch foam board, and I scored it with an X-Acto blade in 6-inch pieces and 8-inch pieces, and then just snapped them and used a hot glue gun and glued them up on the boards and tried to match each panel so that no matter how the gentleman turned each of the walls, I think John mentioned that the walls were movable, I just wanted to make sure that each wall lined up. So some panels are 6 inches, some or some of the logs are 6 inches, some are 8. And then after they were all hot glued on, the edges were raw. I sort of kept the edges maybe 1 inch away from the corner so that no matter how the pieces fit together, they wouldn't butt up right up against each other. So I made end pieces to cover those. So after they were all hot glued up, I just used regular house paint, the same paints we used for everything else, and just sort of blended the black and the brown with my paintbrush as I was painting it on, and then added some touches of red to help it look like natural wood. Then I went back in and painted the mortar, I guess it is, or whatever holds log cabins together, just a gray. After the whole thing was finished being painted, we put the finishing touches on the cabin, and then I made the chimney and the fireplace on a piece of cardboard and took pieces of the same foam board and just busted them up into smaller pieces. Some of them I hot glued 2 or 3 pieces together so that the rocks could be 3-dimensional. And then everything was beveled with a Dremel so that it would have more of a look of wooden planks and rocks rather than just flat boards. So that went pretty well because the Dremel was electric and went very quickly. So the fireplace then, we built a cardboard closure in the back and ordered a cute little electric fireplace from Amazon and made the inside of the fireplace look a little dirty. The mantle is just 4 pieces of foam board all hot glued together, and then I used the Dremel to try to make it look like one piece of wood. So that, and we didn't want to put a roof because we didn't want to have kids in the pews not be able to see the screen. So we just sort of topped it off with snow to make it look like it was in the Arctic. So that's pretty much how the cabin and the chimney came together. Regarding the mountains and the glaciers, you'll notice that we have those in like 4 to 5 different dimensions. There's the large mountain way in the back, then there's we added details to that just with real thinned water. Had a foam paintbrush had it duct taped to the end of a broomstick and stood on a tall ladder and just tried to get some of the seams hidden, let some of the drippings come down to make it look more like a glacier. The back wall we did sort of with grays. The middle mountain we did with blues and grays, and then as you come closer toward the front of the scenery, everything had more of a blue tint like it was a snowy mountain. The glacier obviously done in more blues and whites. So that's how we tried to get a 3-dimensional effect on the mountains.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Parsley and I attend Linworth Baptist Church. I'm a part of the set and design team, and I wanted to share with you just a little bit of the behind the scenes, a little bit of tips and tricks that we do to make the set look and feel the way it should. Part of the process I am a part of is the animal creation and drawing. We have a Dropbox on a file that we can load all of these images, and through these images we're able to transpose the creatures onto these cardboard pieces. What we use is a projector, and the images are hand-drawn. They're scanned and then loaded into Dropbox, and then we transpose them onto these 8-foot cardboard squares, and then all sizes, all shapes. They can be created once that process is complete and done. It takes all skill levels to create this. It doesn't have to be elite artists. It can be, teenagers, 13-year-olds come in and help, just painting and layering on single layers of paint, solid layers of paint. And then we create, eyes and effects and shading and dimension, and then really add the characters' personalities with different skill levels. So anyone can join it, anyone can help, and that's what I love about helping with this process is I meet so many different people from all walks of life in the church, and I love that about it. All right, so this is a piece that I helped with during the process. The initial, like I mentioned, the cutout was completed. It was just a matter of painting him, starting with just a base layer of paint, single color, and then after that deciding, where he needs to be dark, needs to be light, needs to have different elements of texture to make him kind of come alive on stage and not feel so flat. So just like I mentioned, the flat surface of paint, then adding darker dimensions to the edges, and then lightening out towards, his little parts, his knees, the crooks, nooks and crannies of him. The antlers, same thing, basic layer, and then sponging, and we did use sponges, we used paintbrushes, but you can always go back over, make it lighter, make it darker. I've never had an issue with painting something black and then not being able to lighten it back up. That's always been something I've been able to do. It's an honor to be a part of this, and I hope that our little demonstration has been helpful for you and your church to make the kids feel lovely and welcomed and bright and happy for their Vacation Bible Schools. Thanks.
Setting out into the great unknown. We don't know what we'll find, but we're ready to go. It's an Operation Arctic. An Operation Arctic.